Welcome to another episode of Is It Really True? My name is Kal Korff and I'm your host. This is episode number 5. Folks, this show is really simple. What we do is we examine a claim, whether it's made on the internet or in some other printed source, or it doesn't matter where it comes from. And what we do is we tell you whether it is really true or not. Now, today's subject concerns the issue of sea monsters or lake monsters. Perhaps the most famous body of water on the planet, reported and rumored to have an individual or maybe a small family of underwater and unknown to science sea creatures, is that of Loch Ness in Scotland. Ever since reports have persisted for hundreds of years now that there is at least one creature inside Loch Ness, an underwater creature still unknown to science, there have been many photographs that have been taken over the decades that purport to show the creature dating back to the early 1900s. Here are just a few of them. What all of these photographs have in common is that they're all hoaxes. One of the most famous photographs of the alleged Loch Ness Monster was taken by Anthony Doc Shields. He claims he was, of course, at Loch Ness when he saw the creature, and he took a couple of pictures. These are them right here. These are not the only photographs taken of a monster that Shields has produced before. Earlier, he had taken pictures of a monster called Mogwai. These are those photographs right here. The question now becomes, is this really true? Are these photographs an image of the real Loch Ness Monster? Daily World can prove that this photograph is a hoax. There is no evidence that it is real. And disproving these pictures is actually fairly easy. It comes down to basic science. How we know that the photographs are a hoax is that if you look very carefully at them, you will see that the alleged creature here has a large neck. In fact, the creature is somewhat consistent with a prehistoric animal that lived millions of years ago, known as a brontosaurus. Even if it isn't a brontosaurus, the point is the creature is very large based on the size and the scale of the animal's neck and its alleged head. Because it is supposed to be a large creature in this picture, this is where physics proves that the images are a hoax. If you have a large creature in a body of water, the more that it weighs, the larger the size that it is, it will displace water as it moves or splashes about. Yet if you look at Shields' pictures, there's no water being displaced at all. In fact, you can see very clearly that the creature's not making any waves in the water. Physics doesn't work that way. If this were a real physical object in the water, it should be making splashes and waves all over. And those waves being splashed about, or a displacement of water, would be very visible in the photographs. Instead, you see nothing at all. This is irrefutable evidence that the images are a hoax. The question now becomes, how did Shields fake his world-famous pictures? Well, it turns out that he used a technique that Hollywood mastered decades ago. It's called a matte painting. What you do is you take a piece of glass that is clear, transparent of course, and you put it in front of a body of water, such as Loch Ness in this case. Then what you do is you paint the image in, and you photograph the image on the clear piece of glass with the water in the background. In this case, Schills painted the image of the neck and head of the supposed Loch Ness Monster. He had it on a piece of glass. He shot the photograph through the glass against the backdrop of the lake, producing the illusion that the creature was actually physically in the water. Now, how do we know that Schills did this? Not only did he hint to people years ago that this is the trick he used, but not coincidentally, Schills is an artist. Specifically, he's a painter. He spent many years traveling throughout Europe, learning various methods of painting. So here we have a man who is a known hoaxer. He goes ahead and has faked photographs of fairies before, actually getting women to take off their clothes. He has taken a couple of different photographs of a couple of different sea monsters, all of which are hoaxes. And the method that he used in this particular Loch Ness set of images is he simply painted a creature on the clear glass, put the glass up with the lake behind it in the background, and then took the photograph through the glass, giving the optical illusion that there was actually a creature in the water. Despite the existence of dozens of photographs and even movies that have been taken over the years that purportedly show the Loch Ness Monster, there is no credible evidence, there's no objective evidence, there's no irrefutable scientific evidence that such a creature does in fact exist. This is an inconvenient truth that believers in the myth of the Loch Ness Monster never address. So until evidence is found that can be independently verified by anyone wishing to do so, especially by credible scientists and credible scientific laboratories, we must say that it is not really true, at least for now, that the Loch Ness Monster exists. In fact, all of the photographs appear to be hoaxes, and those that remain unexplained are not considered to be objective evidence nor credible scientific evidence that the Loch Ness Monster is real. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Is It Really True? My name is Kal Korff. We'll be back again with another episode soon.